And here we are with TSPN. We have Sandy Wagner with us. Now I have to look at this because it's SGQG Sierra Gold Quilters Group.
Well,
right?
Guild.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
All right. You have a big show coming up at the Amador County Fairgrounds?
We do. It's on the 3rd and 4th, which is Saturday and Sunday. How
can you have a quilt show for 2 days in a row?
Because we do it every other year and we work our little tushies off.
Okay. That explains it, because look, one quilt, let's say for instance this one, and you said this, you just pulled this off the end of your bed this morning, so how long, because you actually use your quilt like we do.
We do.
And most people do, I think, but how long does it take to make a quilt like this?
This was made in 1930 and it was made by hand. Now they probably did it, you know, in maybe a month or two, because this is what they did at that time. Most of the people now are doing them by machine, and they can get them done in a month, 6 weeks.
Right. Okay. And that's if they're concentrated on that one quilt, right?
Right, right.
And does it affect you when you move from quilt to quilt?
It doesn't bother me because I usually do 3 projects at a time, so I don't get bored with the one I'm working on.
Well, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Harvest Quilt Show. What times are it? It's on the 3rd and 4th of October.
Right, and it's Saturday from 10 to 5, Sunday from 10 to 4. The entry fee is $7. Husbands and children under 12 are free.
Okay.
And we have a husband's corner, so they don't have to go in and say, oh, that is beautiful. They can go out and read magazines and have coffee and
that's right.
all the good stuff. It is at the fairgrounds, and we have been getting calls because people are concerned that the fire staging is still at the fairgrounds, but they're not.
They're not. They moved out, or they, as they say, quite a while ago.
Yeah. So
about a week or so ago.
Yeah. And we're setting up tomorrow to get started. So
right.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of resources there, but the resources come from all directions now to go back in. I think they're about 90-some% contained now. It's all contained. I don't want to put the wrong word out there.
Right.
But it's a 92% out right now. So,
yeah.
And there's still internal fires. But anyway, back to the quilt show.
Yeah. Well, I think for Amador residents, and that because we were so impacted by the Butte fire, and like we were evacuated, and it's a part of being normal again. You know, we would love everybody to come to the quilt show because it's going to be fabulous. And the funds that we make off of it, we donate back into the community. So Op Care and the police department and Bundles of Love, all that gets.
And maybe back to some of the victims of the fires. Now you have a quilt that you're giving away too. We do.
It is called the Farmhouse Kitchen.
And it's opportunity to win it is hand appliqued. Hand appliqued by Marianne Engelbrechtsen. You didn't have to help me with that one.
Right.
And a bunch of other women.
And a bunch of other women,
I don't see a man in there, so a bunch of other women helped on this quilt.
We do have 2 men in our guild.
Okay.
Yeah.
And machine quilted by Susan Boyd. So they appliqued it means they pieced it together and then Ms. Boyd sewed it together.
Right. When you look at the pictures, like these are baskets.
Let's show the picture here.
Oh, you've got one right there too.
Oh, there it is. You can zoom in on this one. This is the one
you look at the basket, and all those parts are what they call needle turns. So the edges are turned under and they're stitched, and then the blocks are sewed together. And after that's done and the backing and the batting is put in, then Susan went ahead and quilted it.
Maybe we could zoom in on this one right now a little bit closer. Oh no? We're on there. Okay. Yeah. We can't do that. But anyway, it's an interesting quilt.
Got a lot of baskets.
And then let's see, husbands and children are
free.
Children under 12 are free.
Right.
Now, can people get vendor booths, window displays, things like that?
Yes, we have vendor booth. We have the country store, the raffle baskets, which are always fun.
Now, the vendor booths and window displays, do you still have room for people if they want to
if somebody, I'm in charge of windows. If somebody would love to come, I still have 2 windows that we're going to be hanging antique quilts in otherwise.
And what about the vendor booths? You still have room for vendors?
The vendors are full.
Vendors are full, but 2 window booth opportunities. So
right.
If people want to call you, how can they get in touch with you?
I'm Sandy Wagner, It's 296-4926.
Okay, and no website, no fancy stuff like that?
I
right?
do have a website, but you can reach the Guild through the sgqg.org.
Okay, sgqg.org, or if you can't remember that, that's the Sierra Gold Quilters Group.org. Just use the first initials
Right.
of each one.
Absolutely.
How long has this show been going on every other year?
Well, every other year, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe about 10 years ago, we used to do it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started the Guild, there was 8 members, and it was no vacations. This is the quilt show time.
Right.
And so, but now it's gotten bigger. It takes up 2 of the buildings at the fairgrounds, and we have a catered luncheon.
And are there quilts for sale too?
Sometimes they are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
But
you know,
let's
you
talk-
just ask people.
Before we run out of time, let's talk about the different styles. We already talked about this one that was from the, what, the 30s?
That's the 1930s.
Now, let's talk about this one because this is a completely different style.
Yeah. Now this is mine. I do art quilts, and so this is just torn fabric, stitched on, painted. It's got copper beading and various things on it. And that we do have a quilt challenge. And this was something that went wrong. So
Oh, okay.
he became, help, the dead duck.
Is that supposed to be a dead goose?
It's a dead duck. He
A
got
dead- oh,
shot.
because
See,
you
here's
have-
Elmer Fudd.
You have Elmer down there.
Yeah. But I have a machine that will cut fabric into stencil type things. But the fabric was heavy and it got stuck in the machine.
Oh, okay.
So it came in parts. So thus we have the dead duck.
Okay. Well, it happens.
It does. But the challenge was it was a mallard duck and you could do anything you wanted with him.
Okay, and then we have a couple more over there.
Yeah. This one has been published in a book. And
And let's lift that up so we can get the
Yeah.
full effect of it. That's quite a quilt.
and
This is a great children's quilt
it would be.
for a children's room.
Mhm.
Now, you made this one too?
I did. And a friend who was a teacher who was writing the book was doing a book on diamonds. And she asked me if I would do it. So here are the diamonds.
Wow.
But we had just recently gotten back from Africa, so
So
it was my memories of Africa.
Is this one of your favorite quilts, or
It
is it
is.
for sale?
The price is right.
Anything's for sale, huh?
I have learned that, yeah, if the price is right, I can make another one.
But I would imagine, being that you went on a trip, something like that kind of gives you, every time you look at it, you kind of get some memories.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
So that's the nice thing about quilts. The year they came from, the memory of the trip. I mean, there's a lot of things. I know my wife and I tried to get one from Sally in Amador City a long time ago, and we didn't have enough money. It wasn't even that, well, relatively wasn't that much. It was about $500, but we didn't have $500 then. But it was of a wine scene.
Ah.
And you know who she said bought it is Mr. and Mrs. Bose bought it.
Okay.
When you know
Bose speakers.
Bose stereo.
Yeah.
So they had the money to buy it at that time. So it's sitting up in Lake Tahoe in their chalet. So anyway, that's the nice thing about quilts, and you know the near misses and things like that.
Well, they become creative when you make the mistakes on them, or if you run out of fabric. You just keep going.
You got it like these elephants could have been purple, I guess.
Yeah. So I have some that, things have happened to other quilts, and so they've gone on the wayside, and they become garments, because I do wearable art. So.
Right. Well, okay, again, your show is coming up in October.
October 3rd and 4th at the fairgrounds.
And starting times each day?
10 o'clock.
10 to 5 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday, and there is a $7 entry fee.
Right.
And there might be quilts for sale, you said.
Yeah, some people do.
Just like this one might be for sale.
It could be. It actually is going to be in the show. But, yeah, when they have the county fair, we've had members people have walked up and said, "Who is that? I want to buy that quilt." And they've sold their quilts, so.
Wow. So who picks it up at the end? I guess exhibitor along with their award if they get one, and then they turn the quilt over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's talk about turning the quilts over. It's kind of like part of your heart sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah. Now this one's been hand quilted, and you know, it's just.
I'll take that out of your way. I got it. Now you show off that one.
Well, this was my attempt at tradition, and it's baskets. And I do use it. I have it on the guest beds.
That gives us a good idea. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
There, let's see, it's upside down.
Okay, upside down. But why don't you talk about it while we're turning it around?
Okay. Each square is done individually, and then you sew them all together. Now, I don't applique much, but when we were talking about applique on the other one, this has been all hand stitched down, where I did machine work on this one.
Wow. So
but it is hand quilted.
Stitching takes a lot more time, huh?
It does.
No, I've watched my wife once in a while, but I know from having to do a little stitching myself, it takes a lot of time.
It does, and I found that I don't have the patience to do like every basket would have been hand done together, stitching by hand.
And these are these quilts named? Is the style named?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about giving. You could give each one a name, but
right.
There is a style to each quilt.
This is called a basket quilt.
Okay. And what are some of the other common quilts?
You'll have, like that one's grandmother's flower garden, and there's the Dresden plate, and you know, you can go through hours and hours.
And Sandy, we're going to stop right there, because if you want to know more about the quilts, go to the Quilt Show, October 3rd and 4th, the Amador County Fairgrounds.
Right.
And your phone number again?
Is 296-4926.
Or you can go to the website, which is sgqg.org.
.org.
sgqg.org. And we have to go to a break. We'll be right back with TSPN.